Namaste, welcome yogis. In today's practice, we'll be doing a slow vinyasa flow for sexual health and vitality. Please begin by sitting in a way that is comfortable for your spine and close your eyes so that we can focus on our breath. You can expect quite a few hip openers, as well as emphasis on our breathing in this practice. And I'm not using any props, but of course you might choose to have a block somewhere close by. So as you sit comfortably, relax your shoulders down and away from your ears. And feel the flow of your breath move in and out through your nose. And imagine you can send this breath all the way down to the low belly, low back, and maybe deep into the womb, through the sexual organs, and all the way through into the pelvis. This practice will work in a few different ways. Physically, we're going to release tension from our hips, from our pelvis. These poses will help to improve circulation. And emotionally, we want to show ourselves some love and some care, really allowing ourselves to feel pleasure. Energetically, we're going to be moving chi and prana, so moving energy throughout the body to get rid of any blockages that might be keeping our sexual vitality and energy stuck. So take a few deep breaths here in and out through your nose. And then when you're ready, you can lower onto your back, coming into our first pose, opening the hips. Take reclined butterfly, and you can choose to take yoni mudra with your hands. So the thumbs together, the index fingers together, and just rest your palms on the low belly. So your thumbs are a little bit below the navel, and the index fingers are towards the pubic bone. And with your hands here, try to breathe into the space underneath your palms as you relax your knees down towards the floor. Maybe setting an intention for yourself with this practice. So what is it that you are hoping to cultivate on the mat today? Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Let your inhale be just as long as your exhale. Giving yourself full permission to surrender and to relax fully. And we'll take some knee circles, so bring the knees back up and you can draw them into the chest. And with your palms on your knees, you can just move them over in one direction, massaging the low back, noticing if there are any aches and pains here that you need to be mindful of. Very subtle movements, and you can reverse the direction of those circles if you'd like, going to the opposite side. Without holding your breath, take one more here before letting your feet come all the way back down to the floor. With your knees bent, we'll take our half happy baby. So pulling the right knee into the chest, you can hold on to the sole of the right foot or onto the big toe as you draw the knee and the thigh down towards the mat. Anchor your left hip bone and left shoulder to the floor. And feel the nice big stretch here through the inner groin. Really opening up through the pelvis, through the hips, through your lower back. Not only releasing physical tension, but hopefully also emotional or energetic tension. Into your reclined pigeon pose, cross your right ankle over the left knee and pull your left knee into your belly. We're looking for a bit of a stretch through the right glute and right hip. Keep head and shoulders relaxed on the floor here. Right foot stays flexed to help protect your knee. And you can go ahead and release, bring your feet flat to the mat, knees still bent. And before we do the second side, we'll come up and take a few bridge poses. Push your heels into the ground, curl tailbone up, lift the hips, low back and mid back off the mat, and then lower down. So inhale, pelvis rises up, strong legs. Exhale, set your hips back down to the mat. Another one like this, rocking the pelvis as you lift up and carefully setting it back down. And then draw your left knee to your belly, take half happy baby on the second side. You can hold on to the big left toe or to the sole of the foot. Try to stack your ankle over your knee, and you can use your arm to push the knee open a little wider. And try to anchor your right hip down onto the floor so that you're not rolling on one side more than the other. And see if you can imagine these energetic blockages slowly releasing. So as we invite our physical body to open up, we're able to access the more subtle layers emotionally and energetically to find renewed vigor and vitality. Let's find reclined pigeon pose. Cross your left ankle over the top of your knee, and you can reach through with your arms to pull your right thigh closer in towards your chest. You're trying to send your left knee away from your chest, flexing that foot, and always relaxing your neck, your jaw, your shoulders. Just a little bit of arm strength here. Take one more big belly breath. See if you can pull that thigh in a little closer. And we can set the feet back down. We'll take those bridge poses once more. So as you push your feet into the mat, you're going to lift the hips up and maybe raise your arms up overhead at the same time. And on the exhale, release the arms and the hips back down. A few more with your breath. Inhale to lift up. And exhale to lower the arms and the hips back down. Squeeze through the inner thighs. Inhale, rise up, back of the palms touch. Exhale, send it back down. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. And release. You can rock up. We're going to find our way into a tabletop pose. Palms under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and taking some circular cat and cows. So cat and cow, normally we just drop the belly and lift the gaze up, but see if you can trace some circles with your shoulders and with your hips. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just move in a way that feels intuitive, and you can reverse the direction of those circles. And we'll involve the hips a little bit more. So this time you're going to trace big circles with your hips, sending them all the way forward, side, and back towards the heels. And do that a few times on each side. Spread the fingertips wide, still pushing into the fingertips and knuckles. This is a really good way to tap in to the pelvis, to the glutes, to the low back. And we'll tuck the toes under, find your first downward facing dog, and feel free to bend your knees a lot here and move in a way that feels comfortable for your low back. Come all the way forward into plank pose and then back downward dog. Do that a few times, rippling through like a wave. So we want to do a lot of snake-like movements, very fluid circular movements. So from down dog to your plank pose, moving through the spine, through the hips. And we'll step forward, find a ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. Get your feet really wide as you hold on to the elbows, and you can rock a little side to side. Let go of any tension from your neck and shoulders. Let your head be heavy, and you can definitely keep your knees bent here. They don't need to be straight. Bring your heels in, toes out. We'll move in and out of Malasana, so drop the hips, bend the knees, and then exhale, forward fold. A few more like this. Inhale, Malasana. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, squat. And exhale, release, building up some strength here. Inhale, drop the hips down low. And exhale, fold. And we're gonna come all the way up to stand, mountain pose, standing at the top of the mat. Reach your arms all the way up to the sky, and as you exhale, lower down and maybe rub your palms along your body, showing yourself a little bit of that self-love and self-care, feeling through the front of your body all the way down the thighs, and then bringing your hands all the way up the back of the legs, sides of your waist, up towards the chest, and release arms down. At the top of the mat, if you're not here already, as you inhale, bring your palms together at the front of your heart. Reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way down to the mat. Maybe bend your knees. Halfway lift, flat back, lengthen. And as you release, just step back, downward dog. Palms shoulder width distance apart. Create some space in your downward dog. And then reach your left leg all the way up towards the sky. Bend your left knee, open up your hip, and start to trace some really big circles with your left knee. So really just unlocking that hip joint. Try to keep your shoulders stable and squared. Just big, big circles. And we'll find our way to warrior two. Step that left foot forward, spin the back heel back as you come up with the chest, reach the arms long, palms facing down. As you breathe in, you're going to straighten the legs and reach your arms all the way up. And then exhale, press it back down, warrior two. A few more like this. Inhale with your breath. Exhale, sink the hips down lower. Big breath all the way into your belly. Exhale, release, push the arms down, really stable. Inhale, lift. And exhale. This time, let's move into our triangle pose. So the legs stay straight, left arm down, right arm up. Think of reaching out through the right hand, drawing your right shoulder down and away from your ear. Come all the way back up. And let's move into our wide-legged forward fold. So you want both feet to be parallel to the shorter edges of your mat as you hinge from the hips and fold it down. Bring your arms wherever is comfortable here. Try to relax the upper body. So working on opening through the hamstrings. You can walk your hands back in line with the heels, but always emphasizing the breath. Let's come all the way back up, hands on your hips, push into the heels, lift up, goddess pose. Bring your heels in, toes out, bend your knees and sink your hips as low as you can get them. You can interlace your fingers above your head, releasing the thumbs and the index, and squeeze your knees open a little wider. One of the best poses ever for sexual health and vitality. If you're looking to increase your libido, this is a great one to practice regularly. Let's come out of the pose, straighten the arms and back into a goddess stance, but this time bending the elbows at a 90-degree angle. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, press the knees open a little more, and then hands to your hips. Drop your right shoulder down as you take a little twist, just a little shoulder release here. And switch sides, let your left shoulder come down, right shoulder pulls back. Coming back to center, straighten the legs and step to the front of your mat. We'll take a little flow from here. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold all the way down. Halfway lift, flat back, lengthen. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Step the feet back and we'll repeat on the second side. So this time your right leg can extend up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. And trace those big circles once more, freeing up that right hip, tracing the knee all the way out, down and up. Soften your neck and find warrior two at the top of your mat. So really strong foundation here. Press your right knee open, reach out long through the arms. And as you push into the feet on the inhale, reach your arms up, straighten the leg, and then exhale back to your warrior two. And just move with your breath here in and out of these two poses a few more times, letting the pelvis sink low and the shoulders press down. And the next time you can go into triangle pose, right hand down towards the inside of your right shin. Reach out long through that top arm, only looking up if it's okay for your neck and for your shoulder. Hugging in through the midline to activate through the inner thighs. Come all the way back up, turn the front foot in a little bit so heels and toes are in line, and make your way into a wide-legged forward fold. So this time, if you'd like, you can catch a hold of the big toes with your two-piece fingers, bend the elbows away from you, and reach the crown of your head down towards the mat. Not letting your weight go too far forward here or too far back. Relax your neck. Big stretch into the hamstrings. And let go of the hold of the toes. Come back to center. Push into the feet as you lift up. Goddess pose. So heels in, toes out. Reach your arms up overhead. Release the thumbs and index fingers. Try to squeeze your shoulders. Squeeze your biceps towards the ears as you sink the pelvis down even lower, pressing the knees open a little wider. Breathe down deep into the belly, into the pelvic floor. And straighten the arms and the legs. Come back to a goddess pose. This time just cactus shape with the arms. Think of squeezing the shoulder blades behind you. And release. Hands to your thighs. Drop one shoulder down, roll the other one back. And switching sides. A little spinal rotation here. Back to center, straighten the legs, and step to the top of the mat. Finding your flow, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward all the way. Halfway lift, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. And from this downward dog, left leg goes up to the sky, and then step the left foot in between your palms to the top of the mat. And you can lower the back knee down to the floor. Low lunge, open up through your heart. Inhale, arms rise. Pressing the hips forward and down. Maintain integrity in your low back. And lifting the back knee off the mat, you're going to walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat as you bend into the right knee and straighten the left leg. Skandasana. Back, switch sides, left knee bends, right leg is straight, sink the hips as low as they can go. And spin to the top of the mat, you're already pretty much there. Bring your back knee down to the floor again, and you can either stay as you are or take a quad stretch. So bend the back knee and pull your heel in with your left hand. So another wonderful pose for libido and vitality. Press the hips forward and down. Carefully release the hold of your back foot. And tabletop pose, you're going to kick that left heel up to the sky, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and exhale, touch your knee to your nose. A few more like this. Inhale to lift. Exhale, contract, draw it in. Inhale, squeeze and lift it up. Exhale to contract. And this time hold as you kick it up. Find your balance and maybe reach back with your right hand to hold on to the left foot. So like a tiger pose, push the foot into the palm to lift up, deeper back bend. Open the heart, open the throat, and let's release. And let's come into puppy pose next. Keep your hips over your knees, walk your hands out, and just melt your heart and your forehead down towards the ground. This is a really wonderful asana to practice on a regular basis, especially if you're trying to tap into the emotional component of your sensuality, of your sexuality. Try to release the areas around the chest and the upper back. And we'll come back out, find downward dog, and we'll repeat the sequence over on the other side. So right leg comes up and step it forward for your low lunge. Right foot between the palms, left knee comes down. And think of pulling your heart forward, dragging the shoulders down, and then push into the feet when you're ready to lift the arms up overhead. A strong pose here, getting deep into the hip flexors. Bring the fingertips down to the mat, Skandasana. So walk your palms all the way to the back of your mat, bend into your left knee, right leg is straight and sink down. Try to push your left knee open a little more. Switch sides. And pivot so you're facing the top of your mat again. Find the low lunge and you can add a quad stretch, reaching back with your right hand to pull the left foot in towards the glutes. So you want to keep your hips low and pull the heel in towards you. Carefully release the hold of that back foot. We're going to find tabletop pose and kick your right heel up to the sky. Little back bend here. Exhale, round and contract. So just like cat and cow, but also using the back leg. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, open up, create space. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend, engage through the glutes, and then reach back with your left hand. Hold on to the foot and push the foot into the palm to get a deeper stretch here. You might wobble a little bit. It's totally normal. And release the knee to the mat. Let's find our puppy pose again. Walk the hands forward, melt the heart down. And keep the seat and the hips up nice and high. Try to relax the glutes, relax your low back, relax your legs. Just let gravity do the work for you. And take another great big breath here. And we'll lift up. Back to your downward facing dog, tuck the toes under, lift your hips up and back, and we'll set up for pigeon pose. So you can extend your left leg up to the sky, nice and high, and then bring your left knee behind your wrist. Try to square off the hip so you're not rolling on one side more than the other. Extend the back leg, and when you're ready, you can fold on down. So if you were using blocks in this practice, this is a good time to maybe put them under the chest or forehead if needed. Just get as comfortable as you can here. This is certainly a very deep hip opener, but try to use the power of your breath to help you settle. Remember, we're trying to clear away any blockages holding you back from your full vitality. Ease your way on out, downward facing dog, and we'll go to the other side. Right leg rises, right knee behind the wrist. Stretch your left leg all the way back behind you, square off the hips, square off the shoulders, and fold, coming to your edge, your variation of this pose. Notice if the arms and the shoulders and the neck are tensing up. Can you relax? So much of our sensuality and sexuality comes from learning to relax and let go. Big breath all the way down deep. Start to lift back up, and we'll find our last downward facing dog. So take any little movements and adjustments here that feel good just to stretch everything out. And then you can come down and lower down to your back. Just pull your knees into your belly, give it a big squeeze. You can rock the knees a little bit side to side, massaging your low back. And if you'd like to take this deeper, you're welcome to come into happy baby pose, widening your knees, holding on to the big toes or the soles of the feet as you stack your ankles over your knees. So we want a 90-degree angle bend here, and try to pull the thighs down towards the floor. Use your elbows to push the knees open wider. And you can continue to rock a little side to side. Another really wonderful pose to unlock the hips. Focusing on root and sacral chakra. And then set your feet wide on the mat, and you're just going to drop your knees side to side in a windshield wiper motion. Go really slow here. This is just to release your low back in case there's any tension. Take as many of these motions as you need. We'll be setting ourselves up for Shavasana next, our final resting pose. Extend your arms and your legs out. Turn your palms to face up to the sky. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. And really feel the effects of your practice. Notice what shifts have occurred physically, but also see if you can tap in emotionally and energetically. Emotionally, are you able to allow yourself to receive, to feel good, to feel pleasure, to feel connected to your own sacred sexuality? And energetically, can you feel the prana, the chi, the breath flow through you? Reinvigorating areas of your physical and energetic body that might have been stuck or depleted or tense. Without getting too caught up in the storylines, simply stay with your breath and rest fully here for about another minute or so. And begin to deepen your breath, filling up the belly and the chest, and maybe moving a little bit through the fingers and toes, or rolling the wrists and the ankles just to wake back up. And you can stretch your arms up overhead, get really long. And we'll just roll to the side in order to come up and take a seat. Sit in any way that is comfortable for your hips and lower back. And maybe just close your eyes once you find the position here, keeping our focus inward. Hands at the heart. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose and release out your mouth. Find something that you can hold onto and be grateful for from this practice. Thank you so much for doing this flow with me. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to my channel. I put new classes out every single week. Namaste.